Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Ermenkov. Today is 3rd of February 2023, and I'm going to continue my series, Daily Reality with Alex, and I would like to speak about a very interesting topic today. I hope more of you are really going to enjoy today's topic. And of course, this is something that all of us are dealing with daily, and it is really influencing the way we perceive reality, the way we look with reality. And I hope that today's topic is going to be very liberating for a lot of you, because I'm going to share today how I'm working with the reality of lies. As more of you know, the lying is a very common thing for all the human beings, and all of us wants the same. All of us wants honesty. All of us want straight talk. All of us are willing that there are no lies, that only truth exists everywhere, and we can continue to strongly argue with each other what is truth, where is the truth. There are big movements now of truth seekers where everyone is trying to find the truth. But since I'm a ruling reality coach and I am constantly working and exploring reality, and I really enjoy working with people, helping them to position themselves into the reality as reality transformers, as reality rulers. This understanding of reality of lies is very important. Fundamentally, we don't want to accept it for ourselves, and we are almost a lot of time ignoring it. But 95+% of what we are experiencing on a daily level is a lie. And some people use a more slight wording, such as illusions. And we think that this is something that is really bad, that reality is constructed in such a way that more of the time we're experiencing so many lies. And we think that this is not a good experience for all of us. But actually, if you think about, the only way we are understanding about the truth is by eliminating lie after lie after lie after lie, or we go from lie to another lie to another lie to another lie, and all the time the only thing we understand is what the truth is not. And it is still a good thing, but once we realize how to seek for the truth, where is the truth, and how to work with the lying, and why lying is dangerous path if it's generated from ourselves. And of course, a lot of time, immediately when this topic appears, all the people start saying, well, Alex, but you know, there is the so-called noble lying, when you lie for the good of the others, when you are just not lying, but you're just a little bit avoiding the truth. And now I'm going to share with you one story. I remember when I was teaching my young children to express them that to lie is not good, and they so deeply inside of them understood it literally that they even thought, because I'm a Christian, that once they lie something in reality, they're going to go immediately into hell. I know that it looks like this is something very extreme from the perspective of our human liberal society, but of course, if this statement is truth and what my children were believing is truth, it means that I am the one that am to be able to 100% live a life and experience without any lies to be generated from myself, or me to allowing lies to appear in my life, and so on and so on. And what actually happens is that I personally realized that maybe more than 90% of our experience, anyhow, we are living consciously or subconsciously in a lot of lies. And do I lie? Yes. A lot of times I'm using lies, but not in the sense that I want intentionally to lie. But for example, if somebody asks me, okay, how much are your kilos today? I'm giving approximation. A lot of times I'm exaggerating. If you ask me, okay, Alex, how much is your net value? I'm just going to give a figure. Maybe it's bigger or smaller, but I'm not accurate. So the first type of lying is when we're not accurate about what we are saying. So in a sense, all of us are never accurate or strict or exact with anything that we are saying, because we think this is not important, average or approximate, or we are just rounding up the things because we understand that it is not possible anything in reality to be measured 100% to the exact point. So from the measurement point of view, it's not possible to tell the exact measurements of anything. So in this sense, we think that lying is permissive in the sense that we can a little bit average or round up. And now I'm going just to briefly share some things about lie that I have asked my good friend, the ChatGPT, to show for all of us. I asked ChatGPT just to give me 100 reasons why there are so many lies. And you can see, to gain advantage or benefit, to protect oneself from consequence or punishment, to avoid confrontation or conflict, to maintain privacy or confidentiality, to manipulate or influence others, to create a favorable image or impression, to escape responsibility or accountability, to gain sympathy or support, to maintain control or influence, to maintain a competitive advantage, to achieve personal or professional success, to avoid failure or defeat, to maintain a sense of comfort and security, to avoid losing status and prestige, to maintain a sense of privacy or confidential. There are so many reasons why we, the human beings, are allowing ourselves to lie. And later on, I'm going to post this into the I'm going to post this so you are going to be able to see this also in my presentation when I put it into the different medias. But what is important to understand, and why the truth is so important, why, for example, when Jesus was stating about the truth, he said, I am the truth, I am the way. And he was personalizing the truth with a personality, with a being, with a state, while we are trying to state the truth and the lie with statements, with objectivity in the reality. And it is very interesting because even the concept about the truth and the lie in our reality is based on contrast. Once somebody states that good is beautiful and evil is bad, immediately we say, yes, that statement is truth. Or whenever we make statements which are contradicting each other, and once we state that usually, for example, people are thinking that they are delusional when they think that they receive what they want. And of course, more of us immediately says, yes, of course, this is not the truth. This is not maybe the reality of things. What is then the truth? And the second statement I'm going to say, well, in reality, all of us are receiving who we are. And 99% of you immediately are going to say, yes, Alex, this is 100% correct. Yes, this is the truth, because the first statement doesn't look like so truth. The second statement, I don't understand it a lot, but the contrast is so big that you're so clever. It is such a great truth. Thank you for sharing this great truth. I'm not going to now going to embrace it, and this is going to become the truth of my life. Reality is what I am. And if you think deeply and if you go more into the research, you are going to see that even this is not the truth. So we are just comparing two average statements, and in the one of the statements, reality is what we want. It is a very wishful thinking, and it is something that the mind as a concept would like it to be the reality. But then when we start disintegrating the objectivity of reality, can we say that we actually are constantly receiving what I want, and then everything that I don't want, how it's again part of reality? And we go into these contradictions, so we understand, well, maybe this type of concept, this type of mindset is a lie. And a lot of things, when you go into the different medias and you are receiving all the time different statements and slogans, and you like them, and just do it, said Nike. Why just do it is a big slogan, and it's so strong and it's so powerful. Is it a lie? Yes, it's a lie, because just do it is not enough. If there is not attitude behind, if there is no reason why, if just do it is enforced, there are so many ifs, because in reality, everything is working in categories and in levels. On one level of understanding, something can be a lie, and on another level of understanding it, it could be true. Then it depends from different type of categories. For some type of people, or for some type of obstacle, something can look like that it is working, but is it a general truth that is working as a statement for all? For example, if we say to ourselves, well, Alex, a fundamental truth is the sun is rising and the sun is going down with the sunset. It is a fundamental truth, but from the perspective of when I'm looking from the earth, from the perspective of the sky, where the sun and moon are just, the sun and the earth are just going around each other. This is not a truth at all. So truth and lie depends from the perspective from which you are looking at it. And that's why, in order to start working with truth and lie, also it is important to know the difference between the context, the content, and the construct, to work strongly with these three variables when you're stating something. And that's why we people argue a lot about lying and not lying. And of course, in the 10 commandments, thou shalt not lie, we know about it. Thou shalt not speak falsely, accusations, and so on and so on. What is important here to understand is not that we as human beings should be and are to experience 100% specifically accurate reality all the time, because perceptionally we are not possible to live in a reality where lies are not constantly around us. And even our eyes, even our five senses are constantly fooling us and lying us about what is the external reality. So we are anyhow constantly living, maybe 95% into reality of lies, and also intentionally, we as human beings are not willing to know the truth. We are not willing to accept what the truth is, because raw reality is something that human beings are not willing to experience. We are willing to experience only things that we are conditioned with to be comfortable about. And that's why when we have this urging about the truth, or when we are judgmental against others, and when the king is a strong king, whenever he says something, it's binding for him. It is very important principle, because when we understand the power of truth, the power that once we make a statement, it is binding forever, then we are going into quite different type of mindset about understanding reality, because there is a big danger in living in the lie and delusional environments. They are creating constantly false realities around us, and then we are to such an extent moving into delusional realities or distorted realities that it is even for ourselves hard to understand the truth. That's why once you are able to uncover, and once all of us are able to uncover the truth, we are to keep it and to cherish it with a very big, strong internal connection, because once you know the truth, it is going to set you free. What is the truth setting us free from? It is setting us free from the lies that are 95% part of the reality. That's why maybe the first step of understanding how not to lie into reality is to teach ourselves, at least intentionally, not to create distortions in reality. Because big, skillful reality liars can constantly manipulate us in such a way that we can always perceive something as truth, and the other moment the totally opposite as truth in the same time, because they are playing with the different parts of our psyche. And especially when you work with the contrast, everything can be true or lie. I can give you another example about a very big lie, especially in the personal development industry. And a lot of the mindset people are strongly putting this forward, and people are really catching this and saying, yes, this is such a big truth. And the big truth is that the unconditional love is a very important, fundamental part of reality, and this is the big holy grail. The problem is that it depends how you put this statement into the reality experience, and if people are trying and thinking that there is the big solution, this is the big holy grail, this unconditional wording, we like it so much. Oh, if we were able to have unconditional construct, but we are living in the construct of the cause and effect, and we want in the same time the opposite unconditionality to exist. It's not possible. So unconditional love is 100% lie. But we the human beings like it so much that we say that this is now our big holy grail. And it is okay. I'm never against people living and experiencing and trying to implement as big or small lies or delusions as they want. But as a ruling reality coach, for me, it is important to show the people, to show the beings why it is important to seek for and understand the essence and authenticity, and why it is not possible to get direction in life without direct connection with the being that is beyond the creation of everything, because only then the statement, I'm the truth, the way, and the life, that the figure of Jesus Christ, the anointed Savior, or this archetype was able to state and to claim that he never had lied and that he never stated something that is not 100% general truth, that is working in all type of environments and situations, because he backed this statement with his personal life experience, mission, and everything that he was stated to be. Can we accept this storytelling as a possibility that a human being or a being is able to be 100% truthful through our reality experience? We understand that this is very hard. Okay, the other big and interesting question is why reality requires absence of lying, and why in the same time we are experiencing a reality of more than 90 to 95% lying. It is the same as with the success. All of us are experiencing success as a minority of experiences in our life, and this is how the construct is working in the moment. And it is the same with the truth and lie principle. But the only thing which is good to remember is that in order to validate and understand the truth, there are so many layers in our being through which we are able to be manipulated, and there is only one small essence part of our being, the I amness, which is very strongly imbued inside of us, that is always telling us what exactly is closer to the truth and what is a little bit far away from the truth, and maybe to some extent it is a lie. And of course, then we are to live an interactional and a life and experience in this reality where we are to anyhow accept that lies are all over and around us, and then everything to accept and to see it with a lot of grain of salt, so to say, to be okay that it is not possible anywhere on anything to be 100% truth, but then our primary directive and desire is to see more and more true ecosystem around us and less distortion and illusions in our personal experience regarding the possibility to live a truthful life. And because the solution is to go only through a connection with the being that is beyond reality, it is a very paradoxical thing, but this is the only way how reality is created to work, and it is not my option, it is not our option to be able to manipulate or to think that through solipsism we are able to subjectively influence, ignore, or distort, or bend, or change the manifestation and the experience of reality. It's up to us to decide. But anyhow, we are to learn how to work with more and more integrity in reality. And of course, to know the fundamental question why power, integrity, and truth are giving the force of manifestation and the support of all the universal experience to make us explode in reality. Of course, when we are strongly involved into the truth and the integrity, then even our imagination becomes more clear, and then we are not spending our energy to be something else or to start creating different lifelines and timelines that are distorted, and to support them and to try to convince everything around us that they are working. Because even a lot of us are just trying to fool ourselves into positive thinking or in some other way of tools, and we are saying, okay, if this lie principle is so strong, let us start even lying and fooling ourselves. But our body and our internal structures are created in such a way that it is not possible the human being to be 100% put into delusion, of course, without additional medicational and forceful against its will interventions. If the human being is left to be autonomous, then it is able to recognize truth from lie and to know to some extent something is not working in his personal benefit. And that's why when we are using our intent, and if we use our intent with a lot of integrity, it is going to help us to be more bold, to be able to express, to be vulnerable, and so on and so on. And this is why I personally positioned myself as a ruling reality coach, and I'm expressing as much as possible on a daily basis because I personally can see lies. I can see a lot of lies. And what I'm observing for so many years that, of course, lying has its short-term potentials. And all of us know that long-term, the truth is always able to stand and go forward, even if it doesn't have a big initial start, because it is supported by reality. And it is very interesting part, and it is very good for all of us to know which type of paths we are taking forward. And I know about this Puritan type of thinking and societies where the people that are mostly giving and pushing for the agenda of purity are actually the ones that are saying, well, everything that we're pushing forward is not applying for us. That's why I'm stating that I myself also am a lot of time delusional, a lot of time am using approximations. I'm trying, and it is a fitness and mindset game, because once we gather more and more awareness about what a weapon the truth is and how much boldness it gives us, we can stand against anything if we are on the side of the truth. And we become cowards, we become double-faced, we become powerless when we stand on the side of the lie. So anyhow, we are constantly moving through this network and this net of lies to reality. And it is very important when we go through reality not to be attached to the lies, not to go into the state of judgment and say, well, Alex, you're right, this is not right, this is not right, and just to blame and to judge, but actually to try to be more and more an example. And then life becomes really hard, because when it's up to us to stand, to set the standards, to be open, to be truthful, to have integrity, then every hour move, every hour small decision, every hour promise is important. For example, when I dedicated that I'm going to daily broadcast and give my daily reality impressions and share them with all of you, I'm failing from time to time. I missed the Saturday, maybe the last 10 days, I missed at least 2 days. And does it mean that my integrity is diminishing? Yes, it means. Does it mean that I'm not perfect? Yes, it means. Does it mean that I lied when I put my initial statement? Yes, it means so. But I'm not a robot. But also, since I know my positioning, it is okay for me to express myself before all of you that sometimes I am also moving through this lie net of saying some things and then to not deliver. But when we sincerely want to go into the rightful direction, it is liberating because now we know that our initial positioning of intent is towards integrity. It's towards experiencing less and less lying, distortion, and delusional reality, and more raw but real and powerful interactional reality and experiences. And this is what little by little give us more and more standing positions from where more and more power is possible to go through us. And whenever we are stating things in reality, they are more and more coming into bigger and bigger manifestation. Of course, I use a lot of statements where I'm putting them into the reality because it helps me to make anchors in reality. And since I've put my word towards something, I'm more and more eager to perform, more and more eager to stand and be after my truth. Yes, I still allow myself to fail because I don't even want to be 100% perfectionist, because once you go into this super excellence state, is it possible to be achieved? Yes, it's possible. A lot of people can achieve it, and the best way, as the Zen people are trying to escape suffering and to live in 100% purity, is just not to do anything. And that's why the bigger master and the bigger enlightened person is the one that don't speak, don't do actions, don't interact. And then it's not possible to lie, it's not possible to fail, but the human beings are in a state and positioning to evolve and to transform and to move forward through falling and going up again, through transforming, through failing and succeeded, through lying, but also building more integrity, more truthfulness in our life. So everything in reality is in stages. The important thing is to never sacrifice our truthfulness for lies. And especially when you go into the initial states of lies. And why we are lying because of inferiority, we are lying because of fear, we are lying because of so many things that are usually coming into our survival mechanism where we cannot even stop them. And then what is empowering us to go after the truth is the trust that the universe is going to support us if we are stating the truth, if we are admitting when we are wrong, if we are telling sorry when we have lied but regretted and understood that it is much more better to be free and to move forward into reality, into much more liberation than enslavement. So it's very interesting to work through reality of lies and integrity, and to understand the contrast principle that many times what we think is a very beautiful and nice truth, maybe it is as big as a lie if and when we are going onto an upper level of understanding, and once we are even more changing the context, because our five senses are very easy and trustworthy to accept anything that, compared to something previous, look like a better understanding and a better truth, because compared to the previous thing, it is a truth. And then when we go further, we exclude our previous statements, and then we say, well, now something new is a truth and the old one is a lie. And this is a very interesting path, and I'm working constantly with it, but for sure, the fundamental principle of understanding how, when we entered into the truth realm, our clarity and focus is really so vibrant and there are no distortions into reality. It helps me a lot when I have the choice to lie or not to lie. Actually, I immediately paraphrase it. Do I want to go into a distorted reality, or am I okay to continue with freedom and power and continue with a truthful reality that, of course, maybe I can suffer, or the people that I'm going to tell the truth are not going to like it, or whatever. I prefer to suffer. I'm okay to suffer. I'm okay to go through troubles, but whatever I'm expressing as a truth for myself personally, it is okay to consciously and subconsciously go after it, because it is helping my freedom of expression. And everything in life is about our expressions. This is primary. Everything that supports us to express and not to hide and to close is helping us to long-term become more and more a manifestational type of being, more and more interactional with reality. And that's why I enjoy the ruling reality work, because it helps me seeing more interactional and functional beings in reality, instead of just people that are going after mindset, going after a lot of different things, and we are usually chasing so many things on the surface, while we are afraid to go into the deep and accept the things as they are. So thank you for watching today. Enjoy your reality, reflect and enjoy your weekend. And don't worry, anyhow, we are living in a reality of lies, where truth is something seldom, where truth is something to be pressured, to be made precious, and something to be sought after. Bye-bye.